What does it take to burn an empire to the ground? For me, it began with a single fleeting glance at a screen that shattered my world. My name is Lena Carter, and this is the story of how I clawed my way back from betrayal, rebuilt myself from ashes, and left those who wronged me with nothing but the echoes of their own greed. 5 years ago, I was a rising star at Vantage Corp, a tech giant that promised to revolutionize the world with its AI-driven platforms. I poured my soul into their systems, coding algorithms that could predict market trends with terrifying precision. My work was my life, my identity. But then, in a single boardroom meeting, it all unraveled. My mentor, Victor Grayson, the man I trusted like a father, stood up and claimed my work as his own. My colleagues, people I'd shared late-night coffee runs and breakthroughs with, nodded along, their silence louder than any lie. They stripped me of my project, my dignity, and my future. By the end of the week, I was jobless, blacklisted, and broken. I could have disappeared. Most would have. But rage has a way of forging something new in the wreckage. I spent years in the shadows, learning, plotting, and building. I became a ghost in the digital world, slipping through firewalls, gathering secrets. Vantage Corp had grown fat on my stolen work, their empire built on lies. I vowed to take it all back, not just my work, but their power, their wealth, their pride. The plan was meticulous. I called it the Revenge Video, a series of exposés, each one a dagger aimed at Vantage Corp's heart. Parts 1 through 4 had already aired on underground forums, leaking internal emails, shady deals, and proof of their plagiarism. The world was watching, and Vantage Corp was bleeding. Stock prices dipped, investors whispered, and Victor's polished reputation began to crack. But Part 5? That was the kill shot. I worked from a cramped apartment, my walls covered in sticky notes and timelines. Every night, I hacked into their servers, pulling fragments of data, financial records, hidden accounts, encrypted memos. Vantage Corp wasn't just a company. It was a machine of corruption, skimming profits from small businesses, rigging contracts, and burying anyone who dared speak out. I had enough to ruin them, but I needed more than evidence. I needed a spectacle. That's when I met Eli. He appeared one night in a hacker chat room. His username a string of random numbers. He was a wild card, a former Vantage Corp insider who'd been burned like me. Eli had a nervous energy, his messages laced with sarcasm and a hint of desperation. He claimed to have something BIGA file that could tie Victor directly to a massive offshore fraud. I didn't trust him at first. Trust is a luxury I'd long abandoned. But his data checked out, and his story matched mine. Betrayed, discarded, forgotten. We formed an uneasy alliance, meeting in encrypted calls, our voices masked. He became my twist in the tale, the spark I didn't see coming. Eli's file was a goldmine. It detailed Victor's personal involvement in funneling millions into untraceable accounts, all while Vantage Corp's public face preached innovation and ethics. But there was a catch. The file was locked behind a quantum encryption key stored on a private server in Vantage Corp's headquarters. Getting it meant breaking, and not just digitally, but physically. The risk was insane, but so was the reward. We planned the heist for weeks. Eli knew the building's layout, the security shifts, the blind spots. I handled the tech-disabling cameras, looping feeds, and planting a worm to wipe my tracks. The night of the break-in, my heart pounded like a war drum. I slipped into the headquarters through a maintenance duct, my black hoodie blending with the shadows. The server room was a fortress of blinking lights and humming machines. I plugged in my device, my fingers trembling as the decryption ran. Every second felt like a lifetime. Then an alarm blared. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. Eli's voice crackled in my earpiece. "They know you're here. Get out now." I yanked the drive, my mind racing. Had Eli betrayed me? Was this a setup? I sprinted through the corridors, guards' footsteps echoing behind me. I barely made it to the alley before the first patrol car screeched past. My hand shook as I checked the drive. The file was there intact, uncompromised. Eli hadn't sold me out. He'd risked everything to warn me. Back in my apartment, I pieced together the final video. The footage was raw, unpolished, but devastating. It showed Victor's signature on fraudulent contracts, bank statements linking him to the offshore accounts, and my stolen code running their flagship AI. I narrated it myself, my voice steady but burning with 5 years of pain. "This is Lena Carter," I said at the end. "It took everything from me. Now, I'm taking it back." I uploaded part 5 to every major platform, dark web to mainstream. By morning, it was viral. News outlets picked it up, hashtags exploded, and Vantage Corp's stock plummeted. Investors pulled out, lawsuits piled up, and Victor's smug face was plastered across headlines not as a visionary, but as a thief. The company's board scrambled, but it was too late. I'd exposed their rotten core, and the world was tearing it apart. But the real twist came after. Eli showed up at my door, not a digital ghost, but a man with tired eyes and a crooked smile. He wasn't just an insider. He was Victor's estranged son. He'd spent years hating his father, watching Vantage Corp's lies destroy lives, including his own. Helping me was his own revenge, a way to reclaim his humanity. We sat in my tiny apartment, two broken people who'd found purpose in dismantling a monster. For the first time in years, I felt something besides anger, hope, maybe, or the ghost of forgiveness. Vantage Corp collapsed within months. Its assets were seized, its contracts voided, its legacy erased. Victor faced trial, his empire reduced to a cautionary tale. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. I'd taken everything back, not just my work, but my voice, my strength, my life. I left them with nothing, not out of cruelty, but because justice demanded it. Now, I'm starting over, not as the naive coder I was, but as someone who knows the cost of trust and the power of truth. The world is still watching, waiting for what I'll do next, and I'm ready to show them.